Hey there friends, I've been talking for quite some time now about making a change with the type of ceramic grill that I use. I've been grilling on ceramic grills for about 15 years now. Once you use ceramic, you never go back. Truly, I don't grill on anything else. I don't even have a gas grill anymore because ceramic grills to me are the most thorough way to cook anything and have total control over it, not dry your meat out, not undercook it. It's just a matter, really the biggest key is controlling your heat. That's with your venting system of your air and all that. And all grills, ceramic grills, are a little bit different. You have to get used to them. So what I did, this little video today is going to show you the two past grills that I use, and then the third one here, this Saffire grill. The fine folks at Saffire were nice enough to send me this grill. Absolutely love it. In every conceivable way. Hardware, the quality of the grill itself, some of the little things that if you are a person who grills on ceramic grills regularly, you'll understand what I'm talking about. A lot of that stuff is going to matter big time. So I'm going to compare 3 grills today. One of them is going to be one of my older Icon grills, but I think they call it Vision grills. I just rebranded the grill from Icon to Vision, then Primo grills, and then the Saffire grill. I'm going to show you the distinct differences between the 3, the things I like about this one, and also the things that I might not like as much about the other 2 grills, why I made the change to the Saffire grill. So these are the 3 grills that I'm comparing today. I've got my Icon on the left, my Primo in the middle, and my Saffire on the right. I've grilled for many years on the Icon and the Primo, and I have not grilled on the Saffire yet. So I'm just going to be showing you features of the 3 pits today, since I have not grilled on the Saffire yet. But the features are very obvious. In fact, the Saffire, I don't mind telling you ahead of time, is going to come out way ahead of these other 2. Let's get started. So the Icon, which is actually called Vision now, they simply rebranded, but it's the same one. This is a good pit. I like this pit. I used it several years ago, held on to it for whatever reason. I did like, and we'll move on to the Primo grill. Well, the Primo, this is my second one. It's a love-hate relationship. They're good grills overall. I can't dog the grill, but there are small things about it that I absolutely hate, and that's why I moved on to the Saffire. This thing's a Cadillac. I don't know if you're a Cadillac guy or not, but this thing here, everything about it you're gonna see is amazing. So let's look at the Icon again. This is probably my second favorite. This was a good grill. The vents on top were easy to work. I felt like I was able to control my heat and the flow of air inside really, really well. As you can see, I haven't used this one in quite some time, but this thing is just an absolutely great grill. The vent system on it worked really well. Once you figured out where you needed to put your vents, you could control the temperature just fine. Primo, good grill. This was the problem. On day 1, this screw broke and this thing was out of it. I was literally a dealer of these pits and they still will not send me a new top. Bad move. And as you can see, it's frozen up. Every single time I would go to use it, I would have to beat that thing to open the top vent up because the oil and everything would freeze it closed. Probably not going to have that problem with the Saffire because as you can see, this Saffire is like butter. You can move it with one finger if you want to. This thing is incredible. You can take the whole thing off if you want because it doesn't fall off like the Primo because the system for the hinges is better. It doesn't lean as far back. This thing falls off if you try to lean the lid back. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. Now, all of these are going to have gaskets around where the top vent system is, and they're all replaceable. I've had to replace most of them that I use because I do cook at hot temperatures. The hinge system is really good on the Icon. I have to say that the hinge system is not bad on the Primo, but it does go far back to where the vent system on top falls off every single time, and I have notches in my concrete where this lid has fallen off over the years. This system with the Saffire, you don't have to screw the Saffire vent top on, mainly because it doesn't lean back so far that it would fall off. The hinges are made, I think, more appropriately. Now let's take a look at temperature gauges because you're going to rely on these things heavily. All of these I felt like had really solid temperature gauges. I'm sorry for being slightly out of focus on some of these, but these were all very reliable, I felt like, and very visible. Obviously, Primo's a little bit more stripped down looking, but who cares? I want a working temperature gauge, not a pretty temperature gauge. The Saffire one obviously is one of the better looking ones, but again, they all had really good gauges on them. Now, if you look at the inside, the firebox, now this thing hasn't been used in years. This is nasty, but the firebox on this, as you can see, is broken. Look right down the middle. This thing is broken. This firebox broke many years ago. What I would do is just continue to push this thing back together in order to hold my coals in, and that's the vent system right there where your air comes through. So a lot of things on here. I use a lot of Italian dressing, so I'm going to rust out things in the bottom of the grill sometimes as well. So this isn't the fault of the grill manufacturer. It's because of the things that I actually use. But the broken firebox is a big deal. Now, on this Primo, I will say this, you can see that it has cracks in the firebox. There are cracks, you're gonna see some pretty solid cracks in there, but it's not cracked through and through. This firebox has held up really well over the years for this particular Primo. As you can see, I've grilled on this one here recently, and that's the vent on the front also. Now, this is a proprietary system by Saffire. Notice the individual bricks on this firebox. If I get fractures and breaks on this like I did in that Icon, you can see how this thing cracked right down the middle. So that right there it renders this thing almost useless, although I could still use it, just not control the temperature as much. These have individual little blocks on there. If you get any breakage, you simply remove that particular brick out of the firebox system and replace it. It's really that easy. So you don't have to sit here and fight with your temperature settings and all that if that does happen. Now, this is a way to clean the ash. Big deal. Cleaning the ashes is critical in all of these. I love this Icon system because you can remove this entire bottom drawer out of here. Now you can see this, he's kind of hung up in there because I haven't used this in a while. But that whole drawer pulls out. That allows you effectively to clean those ashes out. This system's a little bit different. Not a real big fan of the Primo system because you use a little rake to scoop the ashes out. This Saffire system, you simply remove this whole thing. That's an ash tray, if you will, if you want to call it that. Not like the old school orange ashtrays that your mom smoked in the living room with, but that you can still scoop it out of here if you want, down at the very bottom part of the vent. But I go into mine every time and reset everything, so it'd be really easy for me to just dump all the ashes out from that standpoint. Now, this is the little tray on the side of it. The wood was nice while it lasted, but it started to sag a little bit, and of course it's going to rot and dry rot in all of the the stuff outside, the rain and the sun and all that. This system's not as bad, this resin shelf, but as you can see, it slopes down, it bends downward, and I hate that because sometimes you're putting a glass plate with a bunch of good meat on there. This is a stainless tray system on this particular Saffire. I love this thing. I love the fact that it is stainless to be able to clean it, but it's also not going to sag. Now let's look at the carts that these things sit on. This was a decent rack that I feel like this sat on as far as the Icon, but the casters are really, really small. They rusted on top, and they would leave marks on the concrete over time. Again, the actual brackets that it sat on were good, but the casters were cheap. Casters were pretty good on the Primo. I felt like the actual brackets that it sat on to hold the pit was a little bit low end, but the casters were good. The Saffire system, this stainless steel system, good sized casters, very good locking mechanism, very positive locking. You don't have to fight with them to either lock them or unlock them, but it's just definitely a better system overall. There's just no question about it. I felt like I always had to fight with the casters on my Primo to lock or unlock them. Whereas if you look at the Saffire, it's really just a matter of touching it. It's really that easy. So this thing here, again, truly a Cadillac. There's no doubt about it. Now, all of these are gonna cook right. I know the Saffire is gonna cook just fine. The other two cook good. The one thing I can say is you always have to locate where your hot spot is gonna be, because almost every grill is going to have a hot spot. So it's kind of a training process whenever you start to do that. Now back to the hinging system, because sometimes your hands are going to be full and these lids are heavy. You don't want them slamming shut. You can really tell that a lot of engineering went into the hinge on the Saffire. This thing here is spring loaded and it gently settles in. The Primo settles in pretty good too. The Icon, not so much. The hinge system apparently is a little bit cheaper on the Icon system. That's probably the only real negative that I can say about the Icon, is that the hinge should have been built a little bit better. Other than that, the Icon system is a pretty solid cooking system. Primo, again, that's my second one. It's not garbage, but it's certainly not my favorite. I feel like the Icon over time did me right. I probably would have moved on to another Icon after my Primo had I not run into the Saffire grills. Primo, don't like that top venting system and the way it freezes up and the way it fell off immediately. This system over here, especially the venting system on the Saffire, is really top end. I can't wait to get this thing started. Again, I have not used the Saffire yet, so I'm not speaking on any of this as far as the use of it. I'm just telling you about the features at this point. I can tell you that the Saffire is definitely top end. It's got the best of everything, really. The Saffire is probably, I've looked at all these pits and I don't know of any one that has as many features as this one does that comes standard on it. Again, the Primo has a lot of small things that they could have done better. I felt like they really cheaped out on some things. If I had to rate these, I would say that the Saffire so far, again, I'm talking about features, not cookability. Saffire is definitely the top. The Icon came in second. There's no doubt about it. I really was a fan of this when this thing was at its peak. This thing did a really fabulous job. Easy to control temperature. Venting system was great. Primo, I'd give it a B rating if anything. And I would have to say that the Saffire, cannot wait to get my hands on it because everything about it is as good as advertised or better. Thank you guys. Look for some new videos on this where I'm actually cooking with these coming up soon.
So guys, stay tuned. I've been experimenting with the Saffire grill a little bit because again, as I mentioned earlier, the way you control your heat with the venting system, the vent on the bottom and then the vent on top, there's you have to fine tune that. You have to get to where you're used to it. You understand how quickly it's going to gas up, or heat up, I should say, instead of trying to force it, because sometimes you can open vents too much and then you have your heat too high and you have to condition it down. So I've been experimenting with that because again, as I stated earlier, every grill is different. Even though it's a ceramic, every grill is different on how you control that heat. And that is the number one thing with grilling on a ceramic grill. This Saffire grill is absolutely fantastic and amazing. You're going to be seeing a lot of videos on that. You definitely want to check out my other YouTube channel, The Bacon Report. The Bacon Report is going to have videos like this. I'll house some of those videos right here on Legally Owned America for now. If you're watching this on The Bacon Report, disregard that because you're already seeing it. But go over to The Bacon Report and subscribe to that channel also. I won't put videos out daily like I do on Legally Owned America, but I will put periodic grills out. And as the temperatures get out of the hundreds, like they're 100 degrees today, you'll start to see more of these videos on this grill because obviously I'll be grilling more. It'll be a little more comfortable. But stay tuned for that because I'm going to show you some cool tips. I'm going to show you how I like to grill things on a ceramic grill. And I'm going to be able to highlight more on this Saffire grill. And again, thank you to the fine folks over at Saffire Grill for sending me this unit. I do have a link in the description down below where you can buy your own. You want to check that out, get some deals over there. There's tons of stuff over there as well. I think you're going to see that if you use my link, you're going to get some discounts on some other things over there at Saffire Grill. So if you want to check that link out, go follow it. Just take a look at it. Click that buy button and rock and roll.